Welcome back to Sawyer's Farm. I'm Jacob. So today's video, we're going to be making a little treat for our chickens. Now, the weather outside, as we're filming this, it's pretty nasty. It's a lot of stuff is kind of frozen over, and it's just a really kind of cold time right now. And looks like we're going to have this for a good while, at least for us here in Oklahoma. So what it is, it's kind of a winter treat. And it's real simple, and I don't know where exactly we learned this from. I just will say this was not our idea. I would like to give credit where credit is due, but I can't remember where, we learned this from. I know it was a YouTube channel. I just can't remember. But just want to let y'all know that this wasn't our original idea. So really all it is going to be our chicken feed. And right over here is pretty much like kind of bacon grease, or from our beef, kind of like the drippings and stuff when you're cooking. You can't pour that down the sink, so you put it in these jars, and we just keep it in our fridge. Most of the time, some people, they just throw it out and everything, and that is, whatever you do with it. This is just another idea that we learned, and we thought it was really good, and it's kind of specifically for winter time for the chickens, is to use this kind of grease or whatever you want to call it, the fat and stuff, and you just make a little treat out of it. And it just gives them something whenever they're sitting in their coop, if they don't really want to get out, and you want to give them just kind of a little bit boost of energy, because there's the fat in there, and they're also getting the feed. Now you can put in kind of whatever you want. We just use kind of the feed, and that just gives them a little block treat, and you'll see here in a second how we're going to do it. But if you want to put in like mealworms or just whatever your chickens like, just something maybe a little bit special, if you want to do that, they really do enjoy it, especially these times when it's really cold. It kind of just gives them a little bit more calories, and they just kind of be a little bit warmer, and they're just going to really like it. So like I said, right here, where all you have to do, it's super simple. That's why I'm doing it, because it's simple. But all you need is, like I said, the little fat, and whatever you're going to mix it in. We just use our chicken feed that we kind of use a whole grain. We've mixed our own chicken feed. We have a video on that if y'all are interested in it. But you could use just regular lane pellets too with this. It's pretty simple. So right now, we got our little bowl, kind of a little spatula thingy here, and we got the little fat here. We heated it up, because once you stick it in there, it hardens up a little bit, and so we just heated it up to where now it's a liquid, and then we're gonna mix the stuff in. So right now we're gonna do that. Alright, so like I said, we mix our own chicken feed, and what we have here is corn, black oil sunflower seeds, whole oats, white millet, and some flax seed. And like we said, we mix it. We did a video on this, so if y'all are kind of interested in more kind of mixing your own, more of a whole grain type chicken feed, then just go check that out in our other videos. But now, since we got the fat in the bowl, now we're just going to start adding some of this feed. Now, the reason you put the fat in first and then start putting the feed, and you want to just see exactly how much you're going to need, because you don't want the feed to overpower the kind of the fat. And so you just kind of stick it in there. You want it to be kind of a thick consistency in a sense. So I'm going to just start adding it until I feel like there's enough in there for what I'm wanting. We don't really have any measurements, so it's kind of just going off the eye of how much. So now I'm going to hold off and kind of stir this around. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit more in there. getting a little bit thicker, so we're getting almost there. Yeah, I think this is probably pretty good right here. Alright, so we got everything mixed up, and we got ourselves a cookie sheet, and got some like parchment paper, and this is going to help make it to where it's not going to stick, because this is actually going to go in the freezer. So right now, I'm going to just mix this up, make sure everything's, not so, falling to the bottom, and then just kind of going to start pouring it on there. We'll see how, if we're going to need like another pan. I'll stop right there and just kind of spread it out. Yeah, I can go a little more. Alright, so we got that full pan done, so that one's ready to go. Now another option, we had a little bit extra. Now if you don't want to use the pan, there is this option. Now I would prefer, because we've kind of done this before and we've been wanting to get it, but these kind of cupcake sheets here, it'd be really good if you all had like the rubber ones, and you'll kind of see later whenever we pull them out of the freezer, but you can just kind of pop them out. But right now we're just going to try to use these ones, just because it's not enough for a full sheet. So we're just going to do these tiny little kind of cupcake ones. But a really good thing, if you had the rubber ones, would probably make things a lot easier, and you wouldn't have to keep reusing this paper stuff. So that's one thing we're going to probably be getting, so we can do them this way and make things a lot easier. So let's put these in there. So we got everything put in, and now all we really got to do is stick them in the freezer and just wait for them to pretty much kind of freeze up, and then we'll kind of cut it and everything. We'll show you that, and then we'll take them out to the chickens and see how they enjoy it. So let's put these in the freezer and we'll come back to you. Alright, so it's been probably about an hour, and these are pretty solid. Now one thing I did do, I don't think it's necessarily you have to do it, but I look at them whenever they kind of start getting a little bit more kind of hardened. I come in with a pizza cutter, and I just make kind of just a little bit of what I'm wanting before it comes completely solid. So I think it kind of helps a little bit, but it's kind of whatever you want to do. But that's why you see the cuts in right now. But so we got them out, and now we're just going to completely cut them into little squares and then pop these out, little cupcakes, and then we'll have a little bag we stick them in, and then you just keep them in the freezer. But then we'll take a couple of them out and actually give them to the chickens. It's definitely not easy cutting these. All right, so now we're just going to be kind of popping these out a little bit. Then you just pull these off. And bam, you got a little chicken cupcake pretty much. Now I will say when pulling these off, probably should have waited probably 30 more minutes. I kind of probably rushed it a little bit because I really want to get these out to the chickens. It's fine, but I will say I'd probably give it a good solid maybe 2 hours. And that makes it to where it'll be really, really solid. These are solid, but I can tell on the bottom they're still a little, I guess you could say moist, but they're still holding its shape, so that's fine. But just for your reference, I'd probably give it about 2 hours and you should be almost perfect. But let's get all these out and we'll stick the rest in the freezer, and then we'll take some of these out to the chickens. What is it, boy? We are out in the chicken run, and we let our chickens free range, but they'll probably be, most of them are in here. But right here we got the little treats, and there's not really a ratio on how many to give them per chicken or anything like that. They're not going to eat too much of it in a sense, so we'll see how they like it right now. Here, chickens! Chicks! Alright y'all, so that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video, but you can tell the chickens really like their little treat. A good time to give them this would probably be somewhat towards the evening before they kind of go to bed, while they're still out and about. Give them that, that extra kind of fat and stuff throughout the night. And we're feeding them out here in the run because they're out here in the run. If they were in there, we'd stick it in there. And whenever we lock them up tonight, if there's anything left, I'll take it and stick it in there so then they can kind of finish it off in the morning. But we pretty much will just feed them wherever they're at. But they're really enjoying it. We really hope that y'all try this out and see if your chickens like it. I'm pretty sure they probably will, especially how cold and just icy everything is right now for us in Oklahoma. But if you like our channel, please subscribe to it. You got any questions about this, leave it down in the comments. We'll do the best of our ability to kind of answer them. Like this video. We really do appreciate y'all coming by and watching the video and leaving good comments and just putting encouraging words there for us. But guys, we really do appreciate it. Take care and God bless.